Correcto, entonces. Muy bien. Enseguida estoy con ustedes.
Como aire, no sé, extraño.
Ok, voy a preparar redes sociales. Permítanme un momento, por favor. Si gustan hacer alguna confirmación, yo nada más estoy preparando la salida al aire. Sí, aquí estoy. Ah, sí, permíteme tantito. Tienes a Alexis Figueroa en la sala de espera nuevamente.
Ya te escuchas, te estás escuchando.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Marco Antonio Carballido, and I'm the English Academic Principal at Universitario Conversa. Welcome to our event called Model of United Nations. What is MUN? MUN is a representation of what countries around the world do in the facilities of the United Nations. Today, our students will represent the delegates from those countries who will debate an important topic in this time of pandemic. Congratulations to all of them for the dedication, the time, and the effort in the preparation of this event. I also want to congratulate teachers who are helping every day in classes for the preparation of their students. Also, thank you to the General Principal at Universitario Conversa for the opportunity for this event. I hope you learn and enjoy this activity. Thank you very much.
Good morning, New York City. It is such a beautiful September day today. Although Midtowners, heads up, traffic is going to be bad. Here's why.
That's right, a lot of world leaders in town. We've got President Obama, Putin, the Pope is going to be in town. So roads are going to be closed off on short notice. Make sure you have a couple different ways to get to work.
I'm excited to meet Putin.
This is a historic moment for humanity.
The challenge for the United Nations is that diplomacy moves slowly in a world where we're used to instant gratification.
Kids and women can have strength, and they have the ability to do amazing things and stand up for what they believe in.
As a photographer, you want to be creative. What's going to happen? Is the world going to implode in the UN? You never do know. You have to constantly have both eyes open and then shoot through the back of your head as well.
I translate simultaneously from English and French into Spanish. Sometimes I do get people who tell me, oh, like Nicole Kidman in the movie. I'm like, yes, sort of.
I'm meeting with 150 heads of state. I'm urging them, please work together in solidarity. Thank you.
So far, so good. Very good. Very good.
Thank you so far.
We haven't started yet.
Too early. Don't say anything.
Because of security, it takes an extra hour or even more. So the commute is double or triple in time, because you can be the best interpreter ever, but if you're not in the booth when you're supposed to, it's of very little use.
You're filming here? Yeah, they're with me. I think the best part is watching history happen. Being on the sidelines, just watching it go by.
No camera.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we are living in an era of peril. We have so many fires burning. Syria, the South Sudan, Central African Republic, Libya. There is nothing we cannot overcome. It's not a crisis of political issues. It's a crisis of global solidarity.
This week is critical. It's the one week of the year where all 193 world leaders or their representatives gather in one city, often here in one room, especially on the opening day of the General Assembly. We have more than 1,500 bilateral meetings between different heads of states and heads of government. It's a good time for leaders to speak face to face, to try to deal with tensions that may arise and reestablish or establish relations and recommit themselves to the ideals that are found in the UN Charter.
There is a bit of performance when you're interpreting. You need to be in good physical shape and then trying to tune out anything else that's happening in the booth, outside the booth, in my life, and just concentrate on whatever I'm doing. The general debate is always very high level. Heads of state and government, but also singers and TV personalities. We had Angelique Kidjo, Shakira saying,
"Now is the time to not just imagine, but do."
Malala also spoke. Pope Francis was a moment I will not forget.
Excited to be here because Ban Ki-moon's going to be here, David Beckham, and so many other people that I admire. It's like my dream to work here, so just coming here is amazing for me. And I'm giving a speech at the David Beckham event. We are kids demanding our rights. We are just kids, but we demand to be heard.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be like,
It's very interesting just watching their interactions, you know, because they're very serious in front of the cameras. Right? Everything's very, we are here to do a job, and then backstage, they're normal people. They laugh.
It's a marathon and a sprint and speed dating.
Speed dating, diplomatic speed dating.
It's now going to be Qatar.
Okay, so not Nigeria.
Qatar next one.
Get the flag ready.
Bolivia.
You have to know how and when to grab the moment. You're grabbing a moment of history. You're documenting history.
We don't get to approve a development agenda every year. Once you're in the moment, it's hard to take a step back and see this as history. Maybe someday we'll be reading this in a history book.
I now give the floor to the Secretary General of the United Nations, His Excellency Ban Ki-moon.
The 70th session of the General Assembly has opened with a towering achievement. The adoption of the 2030 Agenda, including 17 inspiring Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs. Our aim is clear, our mission is possible, and our destination is in our sight. When we stand together, there is no limit to what we can achieve. 3 days ago, young people from many nations stood together in the balcony of this hall. They asked for one thing above all: change. Change. We must do everything we can to close the gap between the world as it is and the world as it should be. That is the mission of the United Nations.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 5th International Meeting of Delegates from different countries around the world in the General Assembly of the United Nations. The delegates will discuss topics based on unemployment during this time of pandemic. Please welcome and applaud the delegations of Nigeria, Egypt, Ivory Coast, Mexico, Dominican Republic, China, India, Germany, and England.
Look closely. Really closely. Deep into the eyes of a child. See their hope. And ours too. Whoever she is, wherever he lives, every child deserves a childhood. That's why UNICEF is there, for each and every child. Working day in, day out, in 190 countries and territories, reaching the hardest to reach, the furthest from help. It's why we stay to the end and never give up. Will you stand with us?
Stand with us. Stand with us. Stand with us.
For every child.
Every child has the right to grow up in a safe and inclusive environment. The United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, UNICEF, helps to promote this right. Please welcome Álvaro Suárez Opillacle, who has a message for us.
Hello, good morning. My name is Álvaro Suárez Opillacle. One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world. Thank you.
Imagine children playing and laughing forever. Imagine. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Moon Orchestra. Now, please, delegates, let's welcome the General Secretary of the United Nations, Ban Ki-moon, who will open the assembly today.
Good morning, distinguished delegates, ambassadors, and representatives of the different countries around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 5th General Assembly in the United Nations facilities. Today, August 3rd of 2020, delegates of the 4 continents will discuss one of the most important problems that our current society is suffering: job challenges after this period of pandemic. Delegates, you will be responsible of making decisions to find all together solutions to this problem. As the Secretary General, I just want you to keep order at all moments. We will begin by taking attendance to the delegates. Please, when you listen to your name, raise your hand. The first continent is Africa. From Ivory Coast, Susana Angélica Montes de Oca Lozano and Briana Angélica Sánchez Reyes. From Nigeria, Kenia García Castillo. From Egypt, Roberto Agustín Mirano and Jennifer Zamora González. The second continent is America. From Mexico, Jazmín Sánchez Lara. From Dominican Republic, Geyelsa Sigletan Arellano. The third continent is Asia. From China, Jonathan Castañeda Rodríguez. From India, Alondra Ruiz Estrada and Alejandro Muriel Moya Gomez. The fourth continent is Europe. From Germany, Mauricio Martínez Guerrero and Oscar Damián Fuentes Corona. From England, Jessica Naomi Quinto Ortiz. We invite the delegates from Africa to be ready with their speeches. At the end, they will have 1 more minute to give their opinions about their co-delegates. In the meantime, we invite our distinguished audience to see an African continent video.
Africa is the third largest continent after Asia and America. It is located between the Atlantic Ocean to the west and the Indian Ocean to the east. The Mediterranean Sea separates it to the north from the European continents. The soils are exceptionally rich in minerals and very suitable for grasses. The main cultivated areas are found in the Eastern Highlands and the Great Lakes area. Some deltas and banks are even in the Sahel. It is estimated that there are currently around 1,700 indigenous languages in Africa. The most widespread European languages are French, English, and Portuguese. In addition to non-native languages such as Arabic, French, or English, most of the continent professes traditional African religion encompassed with the imprecise group known as animists. This means that they believe that spirits inhabit animate objects or inanimate objects. Islam has a dominant presence in the north and is prominent in the Sahara, Sahel, West Africa, and East Africa.
Let us start this event with a delegate from Ivory Coast, Susana Angelica Montes de Oca Lozano.
Hello, good morning. My name is Susana Angelica Montes de Oca Lozano, and I am from Ivory Coast. I would like to address the topic of new jobs that are emerging in the following months in the African continent, to be specific. The COVID-19 pandemic is the defining global health crisis of our time and the greatest challenge that we've faced in the century so far. The interplanet change under the way of political, economic, and social unrest provoked by the different dynamics that have appeared and across the planet to the economic horizon, this day shows itself darker and darker as less profit contributes to balance the economic. And the hope for the better remains achievable pacing to 2021 threshold. Ivory Coast is a beautiful country with many resources, but with a lot to do in the field of education, public health, and social welfare. The internet has given huge opportunities for those waiting to make money through online platforms as we transfer our economics from jobs requiring physical labor to jobs requiring intellectual input. The internet has facilitated and increased the marketplace for buying and selling of intellectual service. There is a lot of human capital in Africa profiling activities change for an erasing of the African economic from touristic entrepreneurship, vast territories of our continent to technological research, which has proven to be a productive notion for use. We would like to suggest the following: a special fund for technology with an interchange with world more renowned universities for the human capital not to be lost, and global exchange program to be implemented. The creation of a special committee and social surveys that can establish a measurement social distribution and general stability on the African territories. We are living a wonderful time. The internet is being used for a lot of, including finding jobs in touristic areas, sales, education, and touristic jobs are requiring to invest significant time and effort to get a position required. We are living in an age of technological revolution, and the student must to stick to the conventional jobs and other parents and grandparents did. If you are a student and you love to the think outside the box chains, are that any of these jobs will make you highly successful in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now let's listen to the delegate from Nigeria, Kenia Garcia Castillo.
Good morning to all the delegates. My name is Kenia Garcia Castillo, and I'm going to speak about the job opportunities and educational options in Nigeria in times of coronavirus. We know that the world is going through a critical situation and humanity is being affected at various points. Some of these are job opportunities and education, and one of the best chances we have these days seems to be remote communication. Enterprises, small and medium companies have seen their best chance by migrating to e-commerce in order to continue the market. This would be a big opportunity for our governments to train people in the using of technologies without investing big amounts of money. Let's remember, in Nigeria we have the presence of international companies that work in our territory, with petroleum, refineries, and automotive industry. Besides, we can take advantage of our official language, English, that as we all know, is international language for business, transaction, and education. This last topic is also a concern in our country because now our educators have to be ready to provide all the knowledge by using the best tools on hand. So, students with even the lowest opportunities can have access to these new technologies. In summary, e-commerce and e-learning are not only something we have to opt for, because due to the coronavirus emergency, it is something we have to face sooner or later, and I think that with training, having a concise work plan, and willing to get through the situation, we can achieve it. Thank you very much for your attention. Good day.
We will continue with the delegate from Egypt, Roberto Agustin Mirano.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Roberto Agustin, and I am the delegate of Egypt. Today, I would like to start with a problem which is affecting everyone. I mean, the COVID-19 not only affects businesses or investments, it also affects a very important sector of our world, the education. The COVID-19 has resulted in schools shut all across the world. Globally, over 1.2 billion of children are out of the classroom. As a result, education has changed dramatically, with the distinctive rise of e-learning, whereby teaching is undertaken and on digital platforms. This means that the schools are not prepared for this situation. We need to make a change to adopt this new way of teaching through technology, taking into account these points to follow. Point number 1, broadening access. Broadening access in ways that dramatically reduce the cost of providing access to quality educational resources and experiences, particularly for students. Point number 2, engaging students. Engaging in an active learning with instructional materials and access to a wealth of resources that facilitate the adoption of research-based principles and application. This could help students to improve without increasing costs. Point number 3, multiple resources. This to support learning, including microlectures that chunk the material into small and coherent modules, including online videos, multimedia presentations, and readings. Point number 4, personalizing learning. Personalizing by building on a student's interest, which can result in increased motivation, time on task, and ultimately better learning outcomes. And finally, point number 5, a strong live presence and continuous connections with their students, along with collaborations with social media tools. These connections help students keep engaged and to be in touch with their teacher and classmates. Finding a solution to a complex problem of raising computer literacy, it's a complex task. However, initiatives such as Digital India show a promise of improving the computer literacy rates among the population. Digital India is a program that with a vision to transform India into a digital empowered society. Such program help our current situation change and allow students who don't have a good internet connection to obtain a better education online. Moreover, students who don't have access to internet or cannot attend face-to-face classes, they will also receive an excellent quality educational training. Thank you for your attention. Have a nice day.
Thank you, delegates. Now you will have 1 more minute to conclude your participation as a continent. We will listen to the opinions from Nigeria, Kenia Garcia Castillo.
I will give you my points of view about Iborico's speech. It is well known that Africa can't offer things to the world, but the world continent must be perseverance since governments can't give everything so quickly. It will take a few years to achieve it. However, it is a good idea to hand more opportunities to Africa. Thanks.
Now, some words of Katia Zamora Ortiz.
Good morning. My name is Katia Zamora Ortiz. I spoke for all the kids in my belly who couldn't speak for themselves. Thank you.
Some words of Katia Zamora Ortiz.
Good
Please,
morning.
Vas a iniciar otra vez. Inicia otra vez.
The American continent is one of the 4 continents of the Earth and the second largest after Asia. It was initially populated by Asian cultures from East Asia that evolved from the rest of the world. Is made of 3 subcontinents: South America, Central America, and North America. The sovereign states of the continent have full representation in the United Nations, UN. The American continent is divided into 2 major regions. The first, Anglo-Saxon America. It is predominantly Protestant English and French-speaking America. The second is Latin America. In America, there are about 1,041,034,000 inhabitants. The most populous cities on the continent are Mexico City, New York, Sao Paulo, Los Angeles. The main languages of the continent are Spanish, English, French, and Portuguese. In America are some of the most industrialized countries in the world, and the robust economies accompany their currencies and markets internationally. Latin America is a rich continent with poor people. The scenario is complicated when the world reaches 1%, own more than half of the world's wealth. Latin America surpasses the United States in cases of COVID-19.
We invite the delegates from America to be ready with their speeches. At the end, they will have 1 more minute to give their opinion about their co-delegates. Let us listen to the delegate, Jasmine Sanchez Lara.
Good morning. My name is Jasmine Lara Sanchez. I am the delegate from Mexico. Today, I'm going to talk about how technology will have to be just in my country. At the beginning of the pandemic, my country was hampered by radical changes in the way of life. Most of the people did not have the necessary resources to do at the same time housework, work, or study online. As the days passed, the situation had changed and people began to adapt and seek the necessary improvements to survive. The influence of social networks has focused on the effects of their support significantly. According to research, more than 90% of the companies use them to support a highly on the handicap selection factors. There is a large effort and investment of resources by companies due to risks of a candidate's current lifestyle. The accessibility of the platform or apps allows to update wherever by a computer or a cell phone just in a second. Technology, financial services, insurance, and other industries can operate successfully by the internet. They can choose to keep their people at home and continue operating effectively. There are forums, group chats, and technological tools that allow efficient control and monitoring of this kind of processes. It is for this reason that we cannot be left behind. Mexican people will be benefiting from these new ideas and our society will prosper to the extent of the implementation. There will be an evolution and in the technological innovation that have become necessary. We will have a new opening. We invite this young generation in our country to be more prepared in order to face successfully future circumstances that this pandemic is carrying out. We must be more efficient and effective. Thank you for your attention.
Now we will listen to the delegate from Dominican Republic, Heyesa Silretana Arellano.
Good morning. My name is Heyesa Silretana Arellano, and I am from Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic is not usually the first place that comes to mind when someone mentions the words fiber optics or digital revolution. With around 25% smartphone penetration, only about half the population of the Dominican Republic has regular, adequate access to the internet, most of which is clustered in major metropolitan areas. However, these statistics and stereotypes are rapidly fading away as the country lays the necessary foundations for a technological transformation through a determined public-private effort. The Dominican Republic is getting all parties on board, including government institutions, large international corporations, and academia to seize the opportunity and accelerate the country into the future. With the successful implementation of these initiatives, the country stands not only to improve standards of living across the board, but also transform the whole business model of the economy and truly become a digital republic. The proposals to improve the use of technology are: proposal number 1, structuring of ICT class, focus on extended day school with a critical and abstract focus. Proposal number 2, special classrooms for teachers to promote technology as a pedagogical instrument through the STEM concept: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Proposal number 3, mobile applications to learn and educate with ICT. Proposal number 4, steady use of the internet, which is celebrated on the second Tuesday of each February. Proposal number 5, training of teachers in robotics. Proposal number 6, provision of computers in libraries. And proposal number 7, technological corners, such as laboratories and/or technological spaces for initial children. It is important for the Dominican Republic to continue investing in new technologies, perhaps already adopted by other countries, to achieve greater growth with investment destined to the training of human capital. That is part of the operation of tech technology being essential. This is an investment that will be reflected in the long term. However, its profitability over the time is high, and it has the potential to positively impact present and future generations. Thank you so much.
Thank you, delegates. Now you will have more minutes to conclude your participation as a continent. Please listen to the opinion of the delegate from Mexico, Jasmine Sanchez Lara.
I agree with my partner Heyelsa Renata Arellano, delegate of the Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic, with the successful implementation of some initiatives, the country stands out not only for improving the standard of living in all areas, but also for transforming the entire business model of the economy and truly becoming a digital republic. And with the proposals, they have said it is important for the Dominican Republic to continue investing in new technologies to achieve greater growth since this is an investment that will reflect in the long term and even though it's profitable over time, its high has the potential to impact it positively in new generations. Thank you so much.
Now the opinion of the delegate of Dominican Republic, Heyelsa Retana Arellano.
Despite the fact that in Mexico, the number of people with COVID has increased, people have implemented the way to continue with their jobs, finding the best way to get advantages of technologies. For instance, as my partner said, companies are adapting to use available resources such as applications and websites, avoiding face-to-face contact. Perhaps these new implementations are difficult to carry out, but they are taking risks that must be taken to continue operating effectively without employees being fired. I like the fact that Mexican people are already looking for ways to include young entrepreneurs or even young people who are still in the school so that they can have the opportunity to be prepared for this type of situations and solutions, taking into consideration the resources that technology provides us, allowing the businesses to be efficient. Thank you so much.
Marta Michelle Mora Córdoba has a message for us.
Hello, good morning. My name is Marta Michelle Mora Córdoba, and now my voice is louder than ever. Thank you.
Mora Córdoba has a message for us.
Thank you. We invite the delegates from Asia to be ready with their speeches. At the end, they will have 1 more minute to conclude, to give their opinion about their co-delegates.
¿Por qué no pusieron los aplausos y porque tenía que ser los aplausos?
Thank you, Marta. We invite the delegates from Asia to be ready with their speeches. At the end, they will have 1 more minute to conclude their participations with their co-delegates. In the meantime, we invite our distinguished audience to see Asia's videos continent.
Asia, the world's largest and most diverse continent. It occupies the eastern 4/5 of the giant Eurasian landmass. Asia is more a geographic term than a homogeneous continent, and the use of the term to describe such a vast area always carries the potential of scoring the enormous diversity among the regions it encompasses. Asia has both of the highest and the lowest points on the surface of Earth, has the longest coastline of any continent, is subject overall to the world's widest climatic extremes, and consequently produces the most varied forms of vegetation and animal life on Earth. Asia has the highest average elevation of the continents and contains the greatest relative relief. The tallest peak in the world, Mount Everest, which reaches an elevation of 8,850 meters, and the lowest place on Earth's land surface, the Dead Sea, measured in the mid-2010s at about 430 meters below sea level. The mountain systems of Central Asia not only have provided the two continents great rivers with water from their mountain snows, but also have formed a forbidding natural barrier that has influenced the movement of the peoples in the area. Migration across those barriers has been possible only through mountain passes. Historical movement of population from the arid zones of Central Asia has followed the mountain passes into the Indian subcontinent. The largest country is Russia by landmass, even though roughly 40% of the country belongs to the European continent. China is the largest country by population. Asia is the birthplace of all the world's major religions: Buddhism, Christianity, Hinduism, Islam, and Judaism, and of many minor ones. In Asia, more than 2,300 languages are recognized. The most spoken languages are Chinese. Hindi Urdu is used in India and Pakistan. More than 1,600 languages exist alone in India. In Indonesia, 600 languages are spoken, and in the Philippines, over 100 languages. Tourism has been a major component in the growth of the Asian service sector. There have been increases not only in the number of non-Asian visitors, also in the number of Asian travelers within Asia. The Japanese, in particular, have been avid tourists in Asia, notable in Southeast Asian countries. The most visited places include Hong Kong, Japan, Thailand, China, Singapore, India, Pakistan, Turkey, Syria, and Israel. Hong Kong and Singapore not only because of their historic cities and palaces, also of their coastal resorts. Everything about Asia is vast. It is the world's largest continent by both land area and population, and as such it is nowadays. It will continue being a major economic force in the global economy. Particularly, China and India will make them countries of great opportunity for outside investors. Economists, political scientists, and emerging market pundits have been talking for decades about the coming of Asian Age, which will supposedly mark an inflection point when the continent becomes the new center of the world.
From China, the delegate Jonathan Castañeda Rodriguez.
Thank you. Dasha Hao. Udeming Sishi, Jonathan Castañeda, Hu Laitsun, China. Good morning, fellow delegates and honorable chairman. My name is Jonathan Castañeda Rodriguez, and I am the delegate from China. I'm here today to talk about the online education, how programs in schools should be modified to better prepare students. Since the first case was reported in 2019 to the World Health Organization in Wuhan, China, the virus has claimed the lives of more than 2,200 people and confirmed cases exceed 75,740. The coronavirus has spread 29 locations outside of China. The education has been evolving through the years, and this is not an exception. People from the past faced worse pandemics, where they have to adapt their ways for preparing people in the educational field. It is important to realize that our ways of teaching are almost antique. There are more than 850 million of students affected because of the pandemic. We have more tools on hand which can be used to complement and improve the quality of our classes. In order to get over this pandemic and prepare our students, we want to be aware that there are some issues to be covered. It is necessary to modify the learning structure in a different structure with prioritized and dynamic subjects and contents oriented toward research, science, and technology. New role of the educational centers. Besides to the registration of students by levels, the educational centers must evaluate the contents and activities of tutoring, supervision, monitoring, and evaluating on offline learning. Schools and their teachers must develop central activities of tutoring or backing on learning through individual meetings, in small groups or attendance of courses, in turns to support the learning processes of their students. These changes configure a new educational model that combines online education with face-to-face education and focuses on the capacity, potential, and development of students. It must be an education that allows you to leave the classroom and focus on the student. Education is our passport to the future. For tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare for it today. Have an excellent day, and thank you for your attention.
Now let us listen to the delegate from India, Alondra Ruiz Estrada.
Good morning, dear delegates and secretary. My name is Alondra and I am delegate from India. And I am going to talk about the importance of the English language for international communication. In Asia, there are 40 different official languages. The language that flourishes the most is the Arab one, spoken in 80 of the 48 Eastern countries. However, the most spoken one is the Mandarin Chinese, which is a native language of more than 1 million of people. In India, the official languages are Hindi and English. English is often nominated as the world language. It is also number 5 official language for United Nations and International Olympic Committee. Why is the importance of the English language? As we can see, nowadays with COVID-19, a lot of jobs have been lost. The ones that are still working and the ones that are done by internet. English is the most popular language here and the number 1 for electronic communication. Science and technology play a major role in every human life in this world. The technology is developed in a rapid manner which makes existence much easier. The internet makes communication faster than earlier. That is why we would like to propose 5G implementation, which offers much higher capacity, very high expense, and better security. Existing 4G connection struggles to address the growing demand for faster connection, like use educational platforms such as Zoom, Meet, and many others. Speaking English gives you access to our entertainment because many of the world-known films, books, and music are published and produced in English. Therefore, by learning English, you will have to access to our entertainment and will be able to have a greater cultural understanding. To conclude, knowing English is like having an international visa. Anywhere in the world, English is useful and helpful. So, learning English is very important. Thank you so much.
Thank you, delegates. Now you will have 1 more minute to conclude your participation as a continent. Let us listen to the opinion from the delegate of China, Jonathan Castañeda Rodriguez.
Thanks. From my point of view, I agree with India's delegate Alondra Ruiz, because English is a necessary language for working, learning, and communicating. Many scientific, technological, and educational contributions are in this language. However, this is not a language that everyone around the world uses. As for 5G technology, it is necessary because of the issues that India addressed. Since in this pandemic, much more internet speed has been necessary. Thank you.
Let's listen to Jimena Viridiana Medina Velázquez and Frida Medina Velázquez with a message for children.
Good morning, my name is Frida. And my name is Jimena. If I had a magic pencil, I would use it to draw a better world, a more peaceful world. Thank you.
Jimena Medina Velázquez and Frida Medina Velázquez with a message for children.
Thank you, Jimena and Frida. We invite the delegates from Europe to be ready with their speeches. At the end, they will have 1 more minute to give their opinions about their co-delegates. In the meantime, we invite our distinguished audience to watch a video from Europe.
Interesting facts of Europe. Universitario Conversa. Continent. Europe is Earth's second smallest continent, covering only 2% of the world's surface, and home to 11% of the Earth's population. Why do you need to visit Europe? Europe is all you can dream, besides amazing and beautiful landscapes. Why do you need to visit Europe? The culture is captivating. Every place has a specific charm. There is not a day you do not discover something interesting. Tourism. In Europe alone were registered 750 million international tourist arrivals, or about half of the total numbers. A mosaic of different people with a multiplicity of languages.
Please listen to the delegate from Germany, Mauricio Martínez Guerrero.
Hallo, guten Tag. Ich bin der Betote Deutschland. I've said, good morning everyone. I am Germany agent. My name is Mauricio Martinez, and I'm going to talk about how Germany is tackling technologies in jobs. Digital technologies will have a disruptive effect on future jobs, as well as one of the tasks performed by workers and skills that require them. It means there may be an even stronger demand for highly skilled workers. Number one, first of all, to change work model starting with office jobs, as these kind of jobs are easier to move at home. Number two, train people to use digital platforms as well as self-employment. Number three, redefine employment status, enhance social protection coverage and wage formation. Number four, government must improve digital platforms as well as train of the people who work on it. Number five, also promote research, develop new technologies, as well as professionals who can use them. This has been all my contribution. In Germany, we hope that work can adapt this change to all people's lives in order to make it better. The world can be a better place for us if we work together. Thank you for your attention. Wir sind schon sehr lang zusammen. Danke alle.
Now let us listen to the delegate from England, Jessica Noemí Cuento Ortiz.
Good morning, dear delegates and secretary. My name is Quintortis Jessica Naomi, and I am from England. I will talk about the importance of being well prepared to face future opportunities. In England, we strongly think our future depends on our young people's ability to face complexity and to work together to create a better world for ourselves and the next generation we leave behind. We will face challenge in just we have yet envisioned and work alongside more intelligent mechanics than we could have ever imagined. What will our job look like in 2013, and what skill will be great to the meal? Looking into the future might seem speculative or even whimsical, because experience tells a prediction about what the world will look like a year from now destined to be enacted. We propose an assessment of the labor market of the future serve as basis for debate around the challenge and opportunities individuals and businesses are likely to face. For example, the potential impact on jobs of advancing robotics, artificial intelligence, and 3D printing is a focus for debate. The COVID-19 pandemic has changed education forever. That is why we also like to suggest through networks and school programs should start community conversation using online platforms about how the world has changed and what graduates need to know and be able to do for civic and career contribution. New technologies are reshaping the workplace and how we work and interact. This will have major implications for online and business model and the way the work is organized. It's in this connect that individuals and employers, as a part of the career and business development, will make decisions about investment in the skills. These decisions are critical, with the skills playing a fundamental role in determining individual employability and risk potential, contributing to the productivity of business and attracting more foreign investment. The UK Commission looks forward to engaging with you on a partners of action that will prepare our business and UK workforce for tomorrow's work of works. Thank you.
Thank you, dear delegates. Now you will have 1 more minute to conclude your participation as a continent. Let us listen to the opinion from the delegate of Germany, Mauricio Martinez Guerrero.
I'm going to give you my point of view about England agent speech, Jessica Quintero. Just as she said, education is one of the most important issues of any government. All the leaders of the world have the obligation to guarantee high quality and free education for everyone, because that means that future matters to us. Just like my colleague said, high quality education guarantees a high level engineering which benefits our industries. In the same way, education will help to us to create a new generation world and build a better world, just like we have done so far. Thank you very much.
Ariana Licea Cortez will give us one more message to reflect. Cortez will give us one more message to reflect.
Good morning. My name is Ariana. I would draw girls and boys together as well. Thank you.
There is a moment when you have to choose whether to be silent or to stand up.
Malala remains in intensive care.
She was shot in the head for daring to suggest girls should go to school.
Me and my wife, we cried all the night. The doctors told me she will survive, but she may not be the same as she was.
They shot me on the left side of my head. They thought that the bullet would silence us. I am the same Malala.
I'm still 17. I'm still a teenager.
She's a little bit naughty, little bit that much.
Who would you have been if you were just an ordinary girl from the Swat Valley?
I'm still an ordinary girl, but if I had an ordinary father and an ordinary mother, then I would have 2 children now. This is my youngest brother. He's a really good boy. This is the laziest one. My father said, "Have you forgiven them?"
You've never felt angry?
No. I want people to learn from the experience I had.
Very nice to see
Hello,
you.
nice to see you. A woman is more powerful than men.
What?
In this new school, it's hard. Physics, 61%.
Do you think you could ever ask your boy out on a date?
Roger Federer.
You like him?
I like his haircut. I miss the dirty streets. I miss the river.
I miss my friends. I just want to see that house just once.
You named her after a girl who spoke out and was killed. It's almost as if you said she'll be different.
You're right.
I am those 66 million girls who are deprived of education. I'm not a lone voice. I am many. And our voices are our most powerful weapons. One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen. They can change the world. My father only gave me the name Malala. He didn't make me Malala. I chose this life and now I must continue it.
Please welcome Malala Yousafzai, the Peace Nobel Prize.
In the name of God, the most beneficent, the most merciful, Honorable United Nations Secretary General Mr. Ban Ki-moon, Honorable United Nations Envoy for Global Education Mr. Gordon Brown, respected elders and my dear brothers and sisters. Today, it's an honor for me to be speaking again after a long time. Being here with such honorable people is a great moment in my life. But the reason for which I am here today, it's going to be hard. That is education. This word seems a bit complex, but it simply means the right to learn. And when I come to this stage and speak to the United Nations or give a Nobel Peace Prize speech, I symbolize the right to learn should be given to every child. I ask for nothing else, but unfortunately, there are 57 million of children fall out of school. For some of us, this could be sad news, really shocking news maybe, and it might be happening like somewhere else, far away from this world, but that is happening in this world where we are living. It's not in any other planet. The children we are speaking for are living on this earth. They are all children, and they have the right to fight. But unfortunately, there are many people who think that the children don't deserve it because they think the children are supposed to work for them. That is against our social taboos. That is a waste of money. That's why we have to fight against these mindsets. So this is a collective campaign. And if you want to see their change, and if you want to see every children getting quality education, then we have to work together. Then we have to go on this journey back together. So I request all of you to think today how you can help these children to go to a school. And today I'm really happy. And that is what I have done. So I am 17, not very tall and very small. So this is a big opportunity for us to speak to the world. The children are facing many problems and many issues. And it is time to think about the next generation. It is our duty, and I am hopeful the change will come, and one day we will see every child getting quality education. But for that, we need to work together. We need to make it our target. We need to make it our objective of life. I have promised myself that I will fight for the rights of children, because I cannot forget the days when I would see every morning poor girls going to other people's houses and suffer for child labor. And I consider it my duty to fight for their rights. I want to see them in school uniforms, holding books, pencils in their hands. I wanted to see their future bright. If you want to protect the next generation, we have to think about their education. Thank you to all of you. Once again, thank you so much.
I want to thank all the delegates from the 18 countries that attended the General Assembly today for their speeches and contributions to make of our planet a better place to live. Today, you show that through the dialogue, we can have agreement to live in peace and harmony. The agreements will be signed today by all of us, and it will be considered a positive beginning to find peace between our countries. We officially close the work today. Have an excellent day. Thank you.
Para dar fin a nuestro evento, recibamos con un caluroso aplauso al director general de Universitario Conversa, el profesor Víctor Manuel Lozano Vázquez, para dar un último mensaje.
Hi everybody. I am very pleased, very proud of you. It's awesome how you guys did it. Thanks very much to Teacher Mark, Teacher Carlos, Teacher Itzel, all of you. Of course, our coordinator of technology and his team, staff, Licenciado Samuel Chama, thank you very much. Olinka, a beautiful voice. All of you guys, students, teachers, it's a pleasure really to address you this moment. For me, it's awesome to see how your English is, how you have performed very well, mainly in these harsh circumstances that we are facing in the world. As you know, this pandemic situation, coronavirus, COVID-19 has changed everything. But I see a better future. I see new opportunities of development, and of course, complete globalization between all the students, all young people in the world will come together as a new world. It's emerging a new system in the world that will include these kind of technologies. We are in different locations, physical locations, but we are completely in touch with each other. So for me, it's really fantastic to see this. When I was younger, when I was a young boy, we have dreamed of this. We have dreamed that one day we can see these kind of situations where people would be in different locations, and it is a dream come true. But mainly my expectations. I am very pleased that you guys are doing very well. All of you, really, really, I'm very proud, and keep going with this excellent work. Thank you very much. God bless you, and I hope your families and all of you, your loved ones, will stay safe, stay better safe than sorry. It's a phrase that I'm trying to explain everybody. Better safe than sorry. I hope that you guys be careful with all this situation, this pandemic. The most important thing for all of us is your health, and of course, the health of people in your family. Thank you very much, and take care. Thank you.
Thank you. Please don't disconnect.
We are not seeing the speech. Well, we are not seeing the